Not too much data is going to be pushed out this week, but I still think we may find some opportunity in the markets. Let's talk about it. Roll the intro. Traders, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Tuesday market breakdown. We had Martin Luther King Day yesterday. Markets were closed, and out of respect, I don't want to make a video, all right? But we're back here this week. Hope you guys had an awesome 3-day weekend. Again, like I said in the intro, markets are a little bit dull, but we're going to see if there's any kind of opportunity. And technically, I do see some things lining up a bit. It may not execute this week, but there is definitely some stuff I'm keeping an eye on, all right? So on the breakdown, guys, we're going to be talking about the fundamentals and the technicals. So make sure you guys stay subscribed because we've been releasing this thing every Monday for the past few weeks now, and it gives you guys some awesome insights on what's happening in the markets, okay? And if you like the content, like if you enjoy this, if you're like, oh, I got something out of it, like the video for your boy. I really do appreciate it, all right? Now first, what I wanna do is I wanna run the tape back real quick and show you guys what I was mentioning last week in regards to Brexit and a potential up move we may see based off of Prime Minister May getting rejected. I thought there might be some market participants looking at that as an opportunity. Run the tape real quick. Tomorrow we do have a Brexit vote, all right? And it looks like it's going to be rejected. At least that is the forecast. Obviously, it should be rejected. No one really agrees with it, and Minister May did kind of pull back on it or recant some of the things that she even said last week, okay? Potential pound opportunities this week, for sure. Pound to the upside, that's the idea. We'll see what happens. All right, so after it was confirmed that yes, they did reject that particular bill, we did see initially a massive sell side move in the marketplace. All right, here, let's pull open the pound dollar. All right, I want to show you guys what that move looked like. Now, again, you guys probably saw it, but here, I'll pull over. I want you to check out this thing on the hourly, okay? So here is the day of that situation, all right? So you see a massive decline here during the entire speech, and then out of nowhere, you start to see a massive push back up into structure. So we initially just went straight back to that original price where we were trading, but then out of nowhere, folks, guess what happened? We ended up breaking out and breaking above that high here, right? And so I know there are a lot of market participants that thought, you guys can see that we retested the base and now we're trading back higher, and this is one of the opportunities that we're looking at this week. So I know a lot of the market participants and there's a lot of hearsay saying that the pound's about to sell off, there's about to be a massive decline. Folks, this has already been priced in. We've been talking about stuff being priced in. I mean, that's our #1 mantra when it comes to assessing fundamental data here on the channel. If the data has been priced in, then when the data comes out, well, there's not going to be too much of a price move. So that's why still, I think that there is a massive buying opportunity here for this pound. If I run over, show you guys what we're looking like on the 4-hour, if I go to the daily, you guys will see again, you know, pound is still massively declined. The daily. Let's go to the weekly. I just want to show you guys, maybe establish for you guys where we're at exactly. Pound is still massively lower than where it was, not only based off of Brexit, but just literally just based off where it was in 2018. Okay, so week after week, we have seen the pound start to trade to the upside, and I don't think that this trend is going to stop anytime soon. So this is what I'm assessing. This is what I'm looking at when it comes to this pound. Last week, we were correct in the idea that we may see an up move, and so again, we are still anticipating that this trend should continue in some shape or form. So however you get in on this opportunity, whether that's intraday, whether that's some type of swing trading scenario, you know, that's all based on your particular strategy, but the directional bias is still the same. Okay, now outside of that, we had some other ideas last week where we thought that we might see some pretty good opportunity selling the JPY off. One of our best members, Sam, he mentioned to me, hey, there seems like there's a pretty good situation on the CAD JPY, and that is something I do want to take a look at right now also. So now, what was happening with the CAD JPY? Well, we did have the Canadian dollar buying up based off of some of the oil prices that were happening, right? Some oil prices were, again, after a massive sell-off, we've seen oil start to retrace a bit back to the upside. Same thing with the Japanese yen. Japanese yen had a massive spike to the upside, and then we started to see the Japanese sell off a bit. So there was a quick little opportunity to catch a decent little flag break here. Boom, there you go, where we saw markets starting to consolidate around this particular price area. It may look a little bit better on the 4-hour. Now, currently right now we are seeing a retest, but I'm still thinking that we're going to continue to see this market start to trade back to the upside. So again, this may be another situation where currently at the moment, we may be catching markets at somewhat of a decent discount. All right, so we just got to keep an eye out on markets overall from a risk perspective. We know that Japanese yen tends to get a lot stronger when markets are a little bit fearful and when people are worried about what's going to be happening in certain economic scenarios. So that always is changing. That's why if you look at the Japanese yen, it's just a massive consolidation, because all year long in 2018, risk on, risk off, risk on, risk off. So many people were afraid at one point, and then everyone got a little bit calmer. The Japanese yen was massively volatile. Now for the Canadian dollar, again, if I pull over, show you guys what we're looking like oil wise. This is something we have to assess. So right now, oil, again, turning around just a little bit. We still have to continue to see production outputs lower from Saudi Arabia. We still have to continue to see production outputs lower in the US and whatnot. But this is where we are currently at. Now, we've been looking at the same chart again, guys, for a while, October 1st, all the way up until December, end of December. This is December 26th. We started to see a massive decline. Look how much we've retraced. All right. So again, if markets are now saying, hey, I want to turn around, it doesn't have to be sharp, right? It doesn't have to be a literal V shape to from the downside to the upside here, right? A lot of people in their head want markets to retrace, to pull back or have some type of extension and then immediately run back up into their structure. Sorry, folks, that's just not how it works, right? You may get that initial burst from the low, but then for a while, you may start to get some consolidation up until you get enough sentiment for people to be assured that markets can truly trade back to the upside. All right. So you may see a lull in buying around some of these areas after you get that first extension out, right? There might be a consolidation that could form here. And that's the risk, that we're currently taking. And that's, again, from a swing trader's perspective, that's something that you always want to rationalize that, hey, consolidation is possible. I'm not playing here with momentum, and the fact that momentum isn't the base of isn't usually the base of a swing trading strategy, may have to be a little bit more patient. Now, if you're intraday trading and you're assessing markets from, again, an intraday perspective, and you see an overextended market condition on a 5-minute, 30-minute, whatever it is, and somehow you've tied that into some type of fundamental assessment or some fundamental announcement that came out, then yeah, maybe at that point you can deal with the idea that, hey, momentum should be playing a role here, and I should start to immediately see some type of turnaround. There are many occasions where some traders will say, hey, I know if I'm not making money within the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour that I place the trade is probably not going to work out. Okay. And so that's not really this particular strategy when we're looking at fundamentals in this capacity. You guys have to go over into Top Trader Alerts. That's where we start throwing out different releases and different trade ideas. And those are usually intraday. A lot of them are still swing trading, but those are usually intraday or swing trading positions. And those are where you can get exposed to positions that may turn around a little bit quicker. So for the CAD, for the JPY, again, assessing the fundamentals on the outside, those may take a little bit longer to start to have some type of cohesive move where we want to see the CAD get stronger and we want to see that JPY get weaker, and that would affect our CAD JPY. Now, outside of that, lastly, I do want to talk to you guys about the dollar, and I'll throw in the euro as well. So if we head over here to the euro USD, just because it's so popular. I know a lot of people hate the euro USD. So we head over to the euro USD. Right now, we're trading at 13.57. All right, and so this euro is literally nearing the lows of, I guess really where it has been over the past 2 years or so. Right now, we're still sitting again at the low. We've been as low as 1290s, 12 highs. I'm looking still for some euro strength, right? If we look at the dollar has been fighting a bit to the upside based off of some of the things that have come out from Fed Powell. Originally, he mentioned that, hey, we should only see 2 rate rises in 2019. But as it's going right now, there's been a little bit more talks of a more bullish appetite or a more bullish feeling coming from the Fed. Obviously, that's against what Donald Trump wants, and so that's probably some of the things that's conflicted maybe markets a little bit. But hey, if this dollar wants to get a little bit stronger, and if these the Federal Reserve heads start to say things in the capacity of, hey, we think that we may have 3 rate rises in 2019. Folks, that's going to get this dollar to push even more sell side, right? So for the euro, of course, we need a little bit more things resolved when it comes to the Italian debt crisis, and we need a little bit more positive speaking from Draghi. Draghi does have a meeting on Thursday, and so we are going to be assessing very heavily what's going to be happening during that, because again, if Draghi, he usually never does, but if Draghi tends to sound a little bit more optimistic about 2019, I really think his market needs it right now. We will get that correction here for the euro USD back to the upside, which is where I've wanted markets to be for quite some time. Okay, so that's my general assessment on some of our pairs, about 4 or 5 of our pairs as of right now. If we do see any more opportunity later on this week, we will be posting that inside of our exclusive members area. You guys can get access to that below. And if you guys want to take a fundamental quiz, by the way, we just created this awesome 11-question fundamental quiz. It's really fun, and it will gauge your knowledge on where you are when it comes to fundamental analysis and how you understand fundamental analysis. All right, so that's also in the bio below. It's going to be the first link in the bio. Okay, so I want to know what you guys are thinking from a fundamental standpoint when it comes to the breakdown of these markets, what you guys want to see. I will be coming out with a few more market updates later on this week as well, and I really am excited. I know there's not too much happening this week. We do have CPI coming out, I think also for Canada. So there's a few data releases that are pretty important, but nothing ground shaking, right? So it's really all about, you know, where we are structurally. I think that's going to give us most of our opportunities. I don't know what you guys are thinking as well. All right, so comment down below. Of course, I'll be right there to answer away. We do have the Kyler and Cleveland show coming out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about currency risk. It's a massive topic. I want you guys to stick around for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you can be notified, and let's see what happens this week. Okay, we did see a pretty decent up move from the pound last week. Let's see if we can get that continuation. That's really the main pair that I'm looking at. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Kyler and Cleveland show. Have a good one.